Hey, it's Jabbo. Welcome to BrickTsar, your home for vintage Lego. And I've just placed some orders on Bricklink for vintage Legos. I said Legos. I don't care. I just placed two orders from two different sellers on Bricklink. One had a bunch of train-related items that I've been wanting that I didn't have, some that I used to own that I sold. And it was a good place for me to get a bunch of these things all at once where I didn't have to go to different sellers to get them. And the prices were comparable and also even lower than some of the other sellers. But I do want to talk about things in this video that I don't like when I see it in a seller's terms or in the individual items that he has listed. And these are things that you can think about if you're buying, like stores you might want to avoid, or if you're a seller, think about how things might come across to your buyers. Because I think all of these things, most of the things I want to talk about in this video are things that I don't think come from a bad place. A lot of people are like me, they're hobby sellers, that this isn't a full-time job for them. They're just selling things from their collection. They don't have a lot of time to invest in it. So they're kind of letting you know up front that is the case. But I want to tell you that even with that, I feel like personally, if I'm going to be selling things to people, whether it was on eBay or on Bricklink, I want to give them the service that I would want. And that does mean that I respond to communications, I deal with any problems or mistakes that I make, or any problems with the item, and I do ensure that I ship it to them in a way that it's going to get to them safely. And I don't hassle them with fees. And this, I think, is the main thing I'm going to complain about, is add-on fees that some sellers add to their listings. So first, I want to respond to a comment I got on my video, and he also left a message on Bricklink. This is from BrickTsar. And I'll read it to you, but when I was reading it, I was like, I can definitely see this in sellers. But anyway, let me read it and then we'll talk about it. But he says, "Hi, I'm a regular viewer of your YouTube channel and I love your work. You have inspired me to start my own store and I love running it. Lately, I ordered a couple of parts from a Bricklink seller in my country. When the package arrived, I saw that some parts were in bags, whilst some were just wrapped around with sticky tape and put into the envelope. Nevertheless, I left positive feedback." Now notice he left positive feedback, but I mentioned that the parts were wrapped in sticky tape and therefore very sticky. So let me just say, I went and actually looked at PB feedback left for others. It's just positive. And the complaint is not in the feedback. So he apparently reached out to him through the message about this complaint, which is a valid complaint in my opinion. He says, "The seller replied with a message to me in a very aggressive way that he is blocking me." Now imagine this. Somebody has just left you positive feedback and they've just mentioned something that they didn't like, or a suggestion basically, and you say, "I'm blocking you." That's a childish seller that I actually think that everybody should just blacklist them just for that. Of course, I'm just hearing BrickTsar's side of the story, so got to be fair in that regard, but it has such a ring of truth. I can totally see this. I have gotten the snarky replies from people like this before. But this is what's the kicker for me in this. He says, after he said he's going to block them, he said then he ordered 10 parts from his store. Why are you going to block somebody and then order parts from their store? He says, looking at the feedback he gave to people before, he will give me negative feedback for this transaction for no reason other than revenge. Is there a way that I could later remove this feedback, as this would be my first non-positive feedback and I would really want to stay on 100% praise? What should I do? Thank you for your reply. Well, definitely don't do anything now. Just wait and see if he actually leaves you negative. Do everything you can to make sure the order is just like all your other orders is. And if he does leave you negative, I would use Bricklink's system, because if it's not a valid complaint, if he's just leaving you negative just to be leaving you negative, if everything was in the order as described and arrived safely, that he shouldn't leave you negative, even if he's mad about his transaction, which is so stupid. And if you're trying to sell, why would you do things to alienate potential buyers? Now, that being said, yes, if there's problem buyers, I would block them. I have a long list of buyers that I've blocked. I've even done things that I think other sellers don't mind. Like if I find out that somebody is a drop shipper, meaning they're buying from me to ship to other people. And I'm not talking about somebody who's buying, like if I had a set, I do have a few sets. They bought a set and they wanted to send it to somebody as a gift and they don't want to pack an invoice or something in there. I can understand that. But when you get several orders from the same person and each order is going somewhere else, and again, this is not also, it's not a seller that had an item missing from an order and they need to get that part for one of their buyers. I've seen that. I don't have a problem with that. I'm talking about people that just buy just to, like they're selling on Amazon and then they find your item and they want you to ship it. I don't like that. So when I've determined that somebody is like that, I usually block them, because you're more at risk because the ship to address sometimes doesn't match the PayPal address. So if there was a problem and a chargeback, I'd be more at risk. But this, to just leave retaliatory feedback, I have actually seen people that have tried to resolve an issue with a seller. The seller refuses to help them, and then after they've given the seller time to work the problem, the seller refuses to do anything. That person leaves them negative feedback. And then the seller who never had left them feedback before then turns around and leaves them negative. I try to eliminate that fear in my buyers, people that buy from me, in that as soon as they pay for the order and I've packed it and I've printed the shipping label, I leave them positive feedback, because I am confident that my order is either going to arrive to them as described. If there is a problem, I'm going to fix it. If the post office destroys it, I'm going to make good on it. So I don't worry about it. And I've been doing this for a long time and it's not been a problem. But this, in your case, I would just do it as you would and go through and you can check. Well, no, I don't think you can check if... Yeah, you can check if he's blocked you, because you won't be able to buy from his store. But I would block him. I might want to share it with people, but I don't. Again, I'm only hearing PB Bricks' side of the story, so we got to be fair, and we've not mentioned this other store. So, and one of the ones that I actually bought from, this is just one thing, and I want to put this out there, and I think most experienced sellers don't do this, and I think a lot of people that do this, what I'm about to talk about, they do it because they see other sellers doing it, especially in Europe, and it is against the terms of service. So please don't do this. The one I just placed an order, he said he charges a PayPal fee of 2.9% to cover the cost of PayPal and 3.9% for international PayPal transactions. Don't do that. I literally would rather you charge 5% more for the items. Just take your entire inventory, raise it by 5%, which is more than the 2.9% add-on charge that you have. And then don't charge the add-on fee. It's against the terms of service. In fact, somebody commented, and I haven't looked this up, they say it's actually illegal. I don't know if it's illegal. I think it's either against PayPal terms of service or Bricklink's terms of service. And if I'm wrong on that, somebody let me know, but I'm pretty sure you can't. I know you can't do it on eBay. And so I'm thinking you shouldn't be able to do it on Bricklink, and it's kind of an annoying fee. I don't have a problem if people want to charge a packing fee, a reasonable packing fee. If you want to charge $1, $1.50 for a packing fee, $2 maybe even. Okay, but don't charge a PayPal fee, because you're talking, it's going to be a lot. But if you just raised your prices and didn't charge the fee, it wouldn't seem as bad. That being said, I bought from the person anyway because their prices were good. But I would have felt better if the prices actually been a little higher and there was no fee. All right, and here's the one. This is a buyer that had a couple items, 3 items that I wanted, and I have bought from him before, but then I was wondering why my shipping was so high. Now I've figured it out. I actually read his terms this time before placing the order, and I didn't place the order, and I will never buy from this guy again. These are the terms. And again, I think some of these terms are actually against the terms of service. I can't prove that, but of course, when you place an order, there is the assumption that you have looked at that store's terms. And this, he says that by placing an order, you have viewed this page, his splash page, and are bound by the terms and conditions presented there. That's a correct statement. You should have looked at that before you place the order. But he says, our shipping and handling charges are higher than the postage cost. We charge a packing and handling fee of $3 for U.S. customers and $5 for non-U.S. customers. So that, to me, that's a little high, but he does state it. But why the difference for the international? The only thing different on the international is I got to enter the customs and I got to sign it. But it's like, it doesn't take 2 seconds to do that. It's not, why charge them an extra $2? I think it's to discourage, they're already going to be paying enough for shipping, and I think it's to discourage people from actually placing the international orders. And the thing that I really didn't like, it says a note about images. By policy, we do not provide images of individual set boxes. So, and most people use the stock image. To me, if you're selling sealed sets, which is what he does, he sells sealed sets, and he doesn't have a lot of them. And you know, obviously he's gotten a lot of questions about the box. Why don't you just take a picture of your box and upload it to Bricklink? He's got high dollar stuff, and he's charging far above average for this stuff. Far above. He's not at the average. He's way above. Why not take a picture? And why have in every picture your little snarky remark that you refuse to provide it? If somebody's going to be spending $500 for one little stinky set from your store, and you ain't got the time to upload a picture or share a picture, and just think, if you just put it on Bricklink, you wouldn't have to share it with everybody. It would already be there. It's just like eBay that way. I'm sorry, this is turning into a rant. Come on. It's so stupid to not be willing to provide an image for people. It's like, all right, so that ticked me off. And not that I was looking for an image of the thing. He says he said they put in their description conservative, so that's good. He describes it where the description is probably describing it worse than it really is. It's going to be better than what he described. So that's really good. That is a good thing to do. I do that with comic books. I try to undergrade them so that when people get them, they're like, oh, this is better than I expected. So that's a good thing. Got to be fair about that. But this is the thing. It says, if you really want an image or set of images, we will consider doing it for a fee of $5 US per item. What a jerk. That is, and it's non-refundable. Just, can you imagine? I want to see what the box looks like. Oh man, that box has got this. The ding's worse than I really thought. I don't want it. $5, dude. Stupid. I'm not I probably shouldn't say stupid, but it's dumb. And then the shipping policy. Let's see if I can find it. He also, a note about shipping costs. By policy, we do not quote shipping rates in advance. Which is okay. That's okay. But you can, he says you can check the rates yourself at USPS.gov if you know the weight. So you basically got to say, oh, he might be using a box like this, and then he's going to just the shipping calculator works. The postal calculator, you can put it on Bricklink and it will calculate the shipping. You add in a weight, what you think your packaging will weigh. Only you know it, not the buyer. You know what kind of, you could put a little set in a big box. How's the buyer going to know that? Just estimate what your typical box is for that set or sets or in that weight range, and the shipping calculator can do that. I really love sellers. I love buying from sellers that have all that already figured out, and when you go to checkout, you can already see what the shipping cost is going to be. Even when the shipping cost is probably a little higher than I think it should be, as long as they already got it there, I'm okay with that. But he says that if you really want a shipping quote, which involves boxing up the order and weighing it and visiting the USP site ourselves, I have to do it all by myself. We will consider doing it for a fee of $5 per US dollars per order, which is non-refundable. See, stupid. And this guy's been on Bricklink from the beginning. And that might be why he doesn't sell much. And I'm thinking that he doesn't want to sell stuff. And I really don't want to meet this guy in person because I already don't like him. And I think I bought from him before Bricklink. So I just think it's scummy terms. And I would have, as anybody that's new to Bricklink or going out and buying on Bricklink, don't buy from somebody with terms like this. And read the terms of anybody that you buy from. If you're a seller, don't charge PayPal fees. It's just, and if you want the PayPal fee, just raise your prices and don't charge it. It's less scummy appearing, okay? So that's some of my little rants there. Oh, and don't leave retaliatory feedback because you didn't do something right and you're mad because somebody asked you about it who already left you positive feedback. Come on. Okay, rant over. If you have any questions about Bricklink, whether you're buying or selling, let me know in the comments below and maybe I'll cover it in another video. Thanks for watching the channel, and I hope I didn't make anybody mad except for the one guy. See you. Bye.